Unlike modern times, there were few work opportunities for women in the 1800s and early 1900s. Marriage and family was the predominant form of security for females. Aside from that, women could work as domestics or teachers, both of which were low-paying jobs. If a woman was not married by age 20, her chances for security in the eastern part of the country were diminished. If she was still unmarried by age 25, she was downright considered a spinster. For all these women without family or spouse connection, poverty and starvation loomed unless they were able to find stable work. During the gold rush to the west, hundreds of thousands of solitary men moved westward to seek their fortune. Cowboys, frontiersmen, miners, gamblers, fur traders, soldiers, lumberjacks, ranchers, outlaws, and businessmen surged westward, and women were in short supply and in high demand. The men needed women, and unregulated by traditional societal requirements, brothels sprang up and flourished. It was not uncommon for brothels in western towns to operate openly, without the stigma of East Coast cities. The ladies who worked the brothels and saloons of the day were referred to as sporting women or soiled doves. Women and girls of all ages took their chances and moved out west to set up shop, so to speak. Not all saloon girls had to resort to the oldest profession. Some performed dances on stage or sold dance tickets or pushed drinks. Some ladies stayed in rooms above or behind saloons. Some were taken into brothels. Barkeepers provided security and took a percentage of the girls' profits earned selling drinks or dances. Brothel owners, usually run by women, provided lodging, clothing, meals, and a measure of security, and took a great deal of a girl's earnings, sometimes 100%. Saloon girls could make as much as $200 a week selling drinks, dances, and the occasional private time, a fortune in the day. Some girls gambled their money away, drank it away, or drugged it away. Still, some made a fortune by saving their money or investing or purchasing property. Soiled dove fashion showed more than the usual amount of skin for the day. Shoulders and ankles were shockingly revealed. Hollywood fashion has idealized sporting women in movies as wearing fashion like this, or like this. However, most likely the ladies' fashions probably looked more like this. To appear reputable, madams themselves dressed up in sumptuous high-class clothing. Madams saved themselves for the upper class, wealthy, powerful men. In turn, they gained status and influence and sometimes respect and affection and even favors. Many interesting documentaries on YouTube can be found about these women who established themselves as wealthy humanitarians, contributing to fire departments, children's welfare, or libraries. Prostitutes used a number of cosmetics to enhance their looks, most of which contained toxic arsenic, lead, and mercury to create a fair complexion that differed from the sunburnt look of working women. Working girls sometimes worked out of squalid cribs, tiny rooms added onto the backs of buildings like saloons. The girls endured the poor hygiene of their customers, men who hadn't bathed, and this would have added to the aroma of stinky pits and foul breath. And for the girls themselves, bathing, brushing of teeth, washing of hair, and other healthy habits took place far less often than today. Soiled doves were not above fighting over men or money, and men sometimes became possessive of a particular dove, which led to fights. Pregnancy was bad for business, and an estimated 20% of working girls became pregnant at least once. Attempts to terminate pregnancies via the use of toxic chemicals such as mercury or crude instruments was common. This often led to a soiled dove's demise. The lifespan of the soiled dove was often short. A common cause of death during this time was death during a botched abortion, pneumonia, and tuberculosis. Because of their background and addictions, most women did not leave the profession alive. Venereal disease, death from childbirth or alcoholism, and drug overdose from opium or laudanum was common. Working girls also risked assault and injury at the hands of drunk and possessive men, and the violence that surrounded the dance halls. The short lifespan of one recorded demise was of a young woman who at only 26 years perished from alcoholism. Her headstone here. Many died from their own hand with the use of laudanum or tincture of opium. These headstones testify to some short lifespans and were taken by the faces of the forgotten, Soiled Doves, and the miners who loved them on YouTube. You can find his video there. Soiled doves or sporting women survived stigma, the double standard of being in demand and being disrespected, and suffered social ostracism, being both needed and shunned. Soiled doves offered comfort and companionship for the men who were building the Wild West. So ask yourselves, ladies, if you lived in the 1800s, early 1900s, would you have gone west? To Kansas, Texas, Arizona, Colorado, Montana, California, or even the Klondike in Canada, or Alaska? Or would you have been a wife, domestic, seamstress, laundress, or a teacher? Leave your comment below. No judgment here. Tell me if you would have chosen to go west or stay back east. Thanks for watching.